The tt100 Business Innovation Awards program proudly presents Professor Edward Kieswetter, Commissioner of the South African Revenue Services.
Prof, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to engaging with you this evening.
Thank you, and what a pleasure it is to technology available that allows to be virtually present. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I also acknowledge the presence of the dignitaries. You've already been welcomed, but especially to my colleague and friend, Dr. Phil Mjwaha, who is our guest speaker this evening, and I can tell you also the recent award winner of the top Director General Award within the Civil and Public Service. So really a great honor to have him along with his colleagues tonight. And of course also our host and CEO, Professor Ben Anderson. A special acknowledgement to the institution's missions actually make an event such as this evening possible. Without entries, we cannot have awards, and without awards, we cannot have an event. So all in honor of you. The theme this year, which as you heard is transdisciplinary innovation, this theme is specifically relevant when innovation serves a social purpose. Transdisciplinarity is often not well understood. Institutions of learning are traditionally organized along disciplinary lines into faculties. Academic qualifications, when then awarded, follows the same. So you are awarded a degree in science, a degree in engineering, a degree in commerce or in arts. Beyond narrow specialization is recognized also at advanced degrees. You go even narrower than your first degree. Professional occupations then naturally follow this for a large part. And we end up in life as lawyers, accountants, and physicians. The above depiction is useful when the problem at hand is a narrow technical one. I would not want a broad generalist to perform highly specialized brain surgery on one of my loved ones, or to defend me in court, or to prepare and sign off important financial statements on which I may base an investment decisions. So I acknowledge the role of functional specialists. The reality, though, is that most social challenges do not neatly present itself as narrow functional problems. Social problems are complex, poorly defined. Hardly ever should the solution respond simply to a narrow functional perspective. Solving complex social problems has multidimensional facets that has to be addressed. COVID-19, as we have heard, is a point. If we had to define it as a narrow health problem and focus only on preventing the transmission, then people would die of hunger. If one solved it as an economic problem and opened the economy, that would mean that people would die of the virus. Many would be infected and succumb to the coronavirus. So as we speak, we can quantify the number of cases affected. We can also, the economy is likely to contract by 7.8%. And these are easy things to measure. But just because you can measure something doesn't mean it matters. Or if it cannot be measured, that it does not matter. We still cannot tell you, therefore, what the psychosocial devastation will ultimately be left in its wake when the virus is finally done with us. We are still unclear exactly what the new normal will finally look like. Because these things are harder to measure, but they are integral to the complex social phenomena that the coronavirus has called us to respond to. Returning therefore to transdisciplinary innovation, I am clear that transdisciplinarity is not the superficial coordination of or interaction between multiple disciplines to solve a functional problem. It is more likely about framing a complex social problem, recognizing its multidimensional facets, and then a synthesis across a number of functional or knowledge disciplines that creates a new field of practice, which is transdisciplinary. My friend Professor Anderson would refer to it as the dance between the algorithm and the androrhythm, or as I would call it, the interplay between, which for example may be data-driven machine learning algorithms, on the one hand, and on the other hand, our essential humanity, along with the complexity of emotionally, intellectually, and vision-inspired learning. In the end, machines can use algorithms to solve clearly defined problems, but no human curiosity and imagination can be left out, because that is where the power and the energy comes, the creative essence that has the power to pose the powerful questions that can transform our lives. And once the correct problems have been posed, most machines can fix it. In other words, we're looking for complex social problems that will have inordinate social impact. In other words, the pursuit of true social purpose-driven innovation. So as we welcome you to enjoy the evening and appreciate the fruits of hours of unbounded human ingenuity, inspired by innovation, countless hours of loving labor, I ask you to reflect on the following. How do we innovate in a way that serves the noblest of social purposes, so that the world we bequeath to the next generation is a fundamentally different and fundamentally better world than the one we have inherited? Welcome to this evening. Enjoy it with us. I will stay online to enjoy it all the way from Cape Town. Thank you, Program Director. I wish you and Professor Anderson and all those present a most wonderful evening.